Yo, what is up guys, MrPantaloons here with the new Opera Omnia event banner. So we have the Prishe event is out and we have the new banner right here with Prishe, King and Ishtola. We go over to the draw info, we can see we have 15 CP Ishtola, 15 CP King and then 15 and 35 CP for Prishe. So let's take a look at these characters and see what they can do. How much value can we get out of this banner? So first off, we got Prishe. We already know her command abilities, we've seen them before. So she has 5-hit melee brave attack and changes to holy brave and wind brave attack upon use, and she also has a group melee brave attack abilities change to fire, holy brave attack and wind brave attack upon use. And we can basically see what they turn into right here. I guess we should go to the Japan one because it tells us exactly what they turn into. So transfixion, detonation and then fusion as well. So we have a medium critical rate up for 2 turns, and then we got the elements holy, fire, also wind, and that's about it. Looks like she only gets this medium critical rate up for 2 turns, and she's got the elemental hits and the AoE right there. But for the most part she is a brave attacker. She gets quite a few uses, I believe 6 of each with the charged up. This is with the level 70, so we can't really get 7, I think. We need her level 60. We can see that she does have level 60 in Japan and she gets more uses because of it. So 1 there and 1 there. In terms of her passives, we can see that her level 50 is actually slightly raised bravery damage when using abilities continuously, and she also has this 35 one, which is slightly reduced action delay when using abilities continuously. So she is actually quite fast and she is able to deal a lot of damage, especially with her 35 CP. Now with her gear list, we have her gear here. Now we can see her 35 CP increase the potency of spin attack and backhand blow, moderately raise spin attack bravery damage when there is only 1 target, grants small max brave rap and small physical attack up for 5 turns after using spin attack, and then brave attack to brave attack plus and HP attack to HP attack plus for 5 turns. So do we actually have those in here? So we do have them. So the melee brave attack, it gets a higher turn rate. I believe it's also an increased damage on that as well. And then for the HP attack plus, we got high turn rate and she gains bravery based on attack. So those two actually help out quite a bit. So her 35 CP is really nice, one of the better ones. Well, I guess we only have 3 35 CP ones right now, so it's not like there's much availability in terms of 35 CP, but overall it's a good 35 CP weapon. Now her 15 CP increased potency of Onion Punch and Howling Fist. Her 15 CP doesn't look that great, so outside of her event I don't know if it's worth the cost for this 15 CP, but for her event obviously 15 CP is gonna be enough. But ideally you would want her 35 CP, because with her 35 CP she would be good both in her event and outside of her event. And then we can see she has a max bravery on her 4-star, defense on her 4-star, and the more important one, which is the 5-star armor, she gets max bravery and attack, which is really nice, and you do get 2 free pieces from her event, so you get a decent startup. And we can see her artifact passes. Let's see, she got obviously the mighty one-hand punch and mighty spinning attack, which are both pretty nice since you have a lot of uses on both of those skills. Now Prishe, we've seen her in global. We know she's green, fist weapon. Okay, that doesn't matter all that much. And another thing that we need to pay attention, well, I guess we'll take them, we'll look at them every single time, and then we'll just do a roundup for the Japan tier list, because the Japan tier list is also relevant for the future. But so far Prishe, I've seen her in the event and she is really strong. She is definitely really good with her 35 CP. And let's see King right now. So King, I actually haven't seen King in co-op at all. I played a little bit of co-op and there hasn't been any King, so I can't really say how useful he is for his event. But he does have like rapid bullets, 2-hit range brave attack, high turn rate and a reset on the count of his abilities with the reload, and he also gains bravery based on attack. To me, he seems a bit lackluster here because he mainly has this skill right here, right? This one just pumps more uses into his rapid builds. He does get bravery based on attack, but I don't know how great that is, but it's something to consider, right? So he doesn't have that much utility in terms of his skills. He only has that brave attack basically. His passive abilities, we can see that he doesn't have a level 60 in Japan, which is going to be relevant for the Japan tier list, and we can see that his level 50 is prevent break status if bravery is over 50%. Brave value remains at 1% or at 1. So this is more of a tanky kind of passive skill, which is not exactly what you would want on a character like King, I guess, although you could use him that way, more of a tanky style kind of character. And then we can also see his gear list. So his gear list, we do see his 35 CP. He does not have a 35 CP in global, unfortunately, but he does get the 15 CP, which is increased potency of rapid bullets and grants small attack up for 1 turn. Now you do get that 1 bonus of small attack up, which is nice, but it lasts for only 1 turn, so that is kind of, you know, it's kind of iffy. And we can see his ballistic shield, initial bravery and attack, not exactly the best right there either. You want that max bravery preferably instead of the initial bravery, but overall, you know, I think he's a decent character. Let's take a look at his passives as well. So he's got 10% damage for rapid bullets, and then this one raised bravery by 10% of initial bravery after using reload. So I think this one is pretty bad. I don't think you're gonna get a lot from this one, so you pretty much have to go for this one for the bravery damage with rapid bullets. So far King, I haven't seen him in the new co-op. I think he is probably, or I guess he's good. But I don't know, would I rate Y'shtola above King? I'm not sure. I've seen Y'shtola and she is pretty good for her event. So Y'shtola, we know we have that stone with Earth Brave Magic Attack, and it also has the target delay for 1 turn, which is really nice, and you have a lot of uses on that one. And then obviously the Medica 2 also helps moderately raise bravery based on current bravery. So what I've seen the Y'shtolas do in this co-op, we just summon, so we get that max bravery up, and then once she has a lot of bravery, like 9,000, 10,000, she can just use her Medica, and boom, she gives like 5k to both of the other characters. So that is pretty interesting, and she can also help with her stone, so she is really useful for her event. You can also see her passive abilities here. Crystal level 50, slightly raise speed for 1 turn when bravery equals to 0, which I don't really like, but I guess it's something. But usually you don't want to be at 0 with Y'shtola, because you want to be able to use those Medica skills, right? And then we can see her gear list. She has her Thyros right here, increased stone potency, and inflicts small defense down for 1 turn. So that one helps a bit, but it's not that big of a deal. And then her 5-star robe, which is an HP and initial bravery. That doesn't look that great, but there we go. And then artifact passives, we got bravery Medica 2, raise bravery by 10% of initial bravery after using Medica 2, which I guess is not that big of a deal. And then the stone 10%, this one is probably nice. I think I would go for that one. And there we go. So we've had the 3 characters. So now, right now in global, I'd say this banner is worth it for the 35 CP. I'd say 15 CP Y'shtola and 15 CP King. Outside of this event, they aren't that great in my opinion. Now Prishe with her 15 CP, I don't think she's that great either outside of her event, although she does get some bonuses, like you get some artifacts to farm from her co-op, you get the 2 free pieces of armor, so she'll be decent, you know, she'll be good, but she's not gonna be that strong unless you get her 35 CP. If you manage to get her 35 CP, then she is obviously very strong. But now we want to take a look at the Japan tier list as well, so this helps us out to see how these characters do in the future. So we have Prishe at 87. She is right here, so she is very high rated on Japan, but this rating is based on her level 60. So without her level 60, she's not going to be this strong, right? So we take a look right here again, we can see that she has level 60 right here. And level 60, what it does is it gives her brave plus HP attacks on both of her skills, which is really nice. So that's why she gets such a high rating on Prishe. So that is one thing to note about her, that she gets a lot better with her level 60, but until then she's going to be alright, or she's gonna be pretty good if you have her 35 CP. Then King, he is rated down at 72. Now you might wonder, or you might think that okay, that may be a pretty low rating, but we have to note that King, he is a 72 on the Japan tier list, but as you can see here, he does not have a level 60. So not having a level 60, he does have his 35 CP, but what that means is even though he does not have his level 60, and with his level 35 or his CP 35, he's still a decent character, right? He's not gonna drop all the way to the bottom just because he doesn't have his level 60. And hopefully with his level 60 he will gain at least 80 plus points, so he will be a pretty good character in the future as well. And then for Y'shtola we have her at 75. So again, she's not all that high, and we can actually see that Y'shtola, she does have 35 CP and level 60. So unfortunately it doesn't look like Y'shtola is that great in the future. Maybe when she'll get her EX weapon, but we don't know if that's soon or if that's later. So Y'shtola in terms of the future doesn't seem to be a preferred character for the content there. So those are, you know, they're not too relevant in global right now. You don't have to worry about the future that much, but if you're trying to plan out your roster, this is some good information just to see how good these characters are in the future. Now another thing that we wanted to do is, okay, so this banner, in my opinion, I think for the 15 CP is not worth it. It may be worth it just to be able to complete the co-op event. Now I did a few co-op event runs with my Tidus with 35 CP. I don't have Astral Sword, I don't have any limit breaks on my Brotherhood. So you can see I did the run just fine with this guy right here. He does really well in this event. I've seen Vincent as well with his 35 CP. He is also really strong in this event. And then I've seen Y'shtola and Prishe, and obviously they both do good because they got the synergy buffs. So if you have Tidus 35 CP, if you have Vincent 35 CP, you can just use those and do the co-op event just fine. If you don't have any of those and you don't have any of the synergy characters either, you may struggle a bit. You may be able to use Cloud, maybe Vaughn, and those are probably some of the better solutions. But if you don't have those either, you may struggle a bit and may want to pull on this banner. And if you do decide to pull on this banner, I guess it's up to you. If you want to just complete the event, you can just do a 5k pull and then you're good. But if you want to go for the 35 CP, and ideally you want to go for the Prishe 35 CP, and for that to happen, or to have a good shot at getting her 35 CP, you kind of want to be willing to go up to 25k gems to spend on this banner. And I'm gonna show you right here that I've actually did some gacha simulations on this banner. So we pulled a total amount of 200,000 gems on a similar banner here. This is not exactly the Prishe banner because they had 15 CP on the Japan, right? So I had to improvise somehow, but I did 200,000 gems on this banner, and this banner is pretty similar to this banner because as you can see, you have two 15 CPs and then a 15 and 35 CP for Prishe. And this banner has 15 CP for Ida, 15 CP for Yuffie, and then 15 and 35 CP for bars. So it's basically the same kind of banner. So in 200,000 gems we got 8 bards 35 CP on this banner. So if we bring in the calculator here, 200,000 divided by 8, that's exactly 25,000 gems per 35 CP, which is pretty funny that we got that exact number. But generally on an average, this is the amount that you would have to spend to get a 35 CP weapon on these kind of banners. So I think 25,000 is a bit too much, but if you don't have that 35 CP weapon and you have a lot of gems, or by not having 35 CP I mean if you don't have Titus 35 CP, if you don't have Vincent 35 CP, Prishe 35 CP is not that bad of a deal, and especially she will help with the event. So if you do have the gems and if you like Prishe, but as I said, outside of her event I don't see her as good as Titus, for example, and if you have Vincent you're probably good to go either way without Prishe. So those are the caveats about Prishe in my opinion, and there is one thing left to do, which is what am I gonna do on this banner? Am I gonna pull or am I not gonna pull? As I said, I am not gonna pull on this banner because I have Titus 35 CP. I don't need the Prishe, I don't need King, I don't need Ishtola. This banner doesn't help me out. I can already finish this event with Titus, so this banner is a skip. However, we can simulate the banner pulls right here. So let's say we are going for 35 CP Prishe. So I would allocate 25k gems on this banner. So let's see if we would get Prishe or not. So first 5k pull, let's see if we get it. If we get it in less than 25k, then obviously that's ideal, so we didn't get the 35 CP there. 10k, we didn't get it there either. 15k, nothing. 20k, okay, so we got it in 20k. And the beauty of these simulations is you can just come here, do the simulations, and just to see how many gems you would have to spend to get that weapon that you want, right? To get that 35 CP Prishe. So 20k for 35 CP Prishe, I would say that's a good deal if I needed her 35 CP weapon, but I don't need it. So 20k gems, I wouldn't say it would be worth it, to be honest, for me at this moment, at my current power or at my current status of my account. But there you go guys, I think we pretty much covered just about everything. So I would say this banner, if you want Prishe 35 CP and you have 25k gems to spare, then you can try and get it. Or if you need help with the event, you can probably just do 5k pull, and whichever one you draw, even if it's 15 CP Prishe, they're all gonna be good. They're gonna be pretty decent to help you out with the co-op event. But if you are using Titus like myself, or if you have Vincent with 35 CP and you want to play those for the co-op, they're gonna do just fine, so you can easily skip this banner. So myself, I'm gonna be using Titus and I'm gonna skip this banner. So let me know guys what you think about this banner, what you think about the co-op. Have you played with any of these characters? Have you seen King? I haven't seen King yet, so I wonder how he does, but I'm expecting him to do fairly well. But there you go guys, let me know what your thoughts are on the banner, and I do hope to see you on my next video. We will be playing some Dissidia Opera Omnia at twitch.tv/MrPantaloons every day at 7 PM GMT. But anyway guys, I hope to see you on my next video, and until then, have a good one and take care.